Hello, welcome. Welcome to Working with Shame. This is from collapse and isolation to repair and reconnect. Perhaps maybe connecting for the first time. Shame is one of the most common experiences my clients mention to me, and it's one of the hardest. I think we work with shame perhaps every day, maybe in little spouts of embarrassment. It's because shame is not rare. It's here. I want to welcome you and again just thank you for being here. If you don't mind, take a moment if it feels safe to you. Jump either to the chat or the discussion, depending on if you are viewing this live with me right now or in a recording later. I'd love to know who you are, who I've reached, where you're from. I won't ask any hard questions like, are you dealing with shame? Because we all are. I'm Christy. I'm Christy Mayu. I have been working this past decade guiding people through deep transformation. Now, I mostly work with women. That's intentional. Um, but I've had a few men to cross my path as well over these years. I help them, guide them on their journey of reconnecting to their bodies. Or, like I said, perhaps connecting for the first time or in a very long time to their nervous system and to their inner wisdom through this work. My personal journey started a long, long time before that. I have been studying the healing arts since the early 1990s. I initially began um, that journey, that exploration for my own healing. I was transitioning at that time from teen years into an adulthood. 17, I was married, pregnant, and um, I had a lot of stuff coming from my childhood. I had childhood sexual abuse. There was neglect, anorexia, a lot of health issues that kept me down. A lot of struggles with alcohol at quite a young age as well, because so much was happening in those formative years. I spent a lot of it numb, um, tuned out, disassociated. So I know what it feels like to feel stuck, to feel unsafe and disconnected from your own body. I also know what it feels like to reclaim your power, to feel grounded, to experience real embodied healing. So that's why I have created these series of webinars. I have a course and um, I have a coaching program so that you know that I am here to guide you. There is healing after trauma. Now, this has been designed to meet you exactly where you are. There's nothing special or extra needed out of you. It's guided to help guide you in understanding parts of the nervous system. I'm going to teach you some practices to help restore safety. You will learn how to regulate your nervous system. Mainly, what I want you to know is that healing is possible. You are not broken, and you don't have to do this alone. So, some of you have put your names in the comments, in the chat, and told me say hello. Some of you have sent them privately to me. Welcome. I am so glad you're here. We are going to jump into the discussion of shame. Okay? The thing I want you to know about shame is that it often doesn't respond to insight, reframing, or reassurance. So, knowing something and what the body is feeling may be two completely different things. That's because shame isn't just a belief about the self, it is an embodied survival response. And that's really important here to understand. Shame is an embodied survival response. When we are in an activated nervous system, our nervous system takes us into survival mode, survival response. And this is an automatic response, and we're not completely in control of what we're doing. Shame changes the body. So this can look like a collapsed posture, constricted breath, unable to take a deep breath, just these really shallow breaths, or even hard to take a shallow breath. It can cause a complete physical shutdown that prevents you from going out and having social engagement. It pulls the awareness inward. Um, like into that story of unworthiness. It leaves someone feeling fundamentally flawed, like there's something wrong with them. Has anyone resonate with that? Yeah, lots of yeses, lots of yeses. Yeah, yeah. Unless repair happens, this state can become chronic. This is the people that may have trouble leaving their homes to even go to the grocery store. I had a time in my life that I had that problem. I was in complete shutdown. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, so um sharing in the comments their experiences of shame. It's it feels like this, and you may have seen yourself like this, right? I'm going to turn to the side. This rounded. I've been this head down. And it's hard for me to do it now because it hurts. because I've not been in this for so long. But there was a time that my pediatrician wanted to put me in a back brace because I was rounded, so rounded over. It was from the sexual abuse that I was experiencing. No one was asking, why is this child in shame? Or let's just fix her. It doesn't work that way. Understanding shame as a survival response, again, is important to look at this from the lens of the nervous system. Shame emerges when connection feels threatened. Shame emerges when connection feels threatened. I'm seeing a lot of head nods. Yeah, resignations there. The body learns in that um, feeling of disconnection, that or the threat of disconnection. The body learns if I shrink or disappear, that I might be safe. I might stay safe. So if I get really small and hide in the corner in the background, no one will notice me and I'll be safe. I am an isolator personally. Isolation is one of my core strategies. I have I have two core strategies, a distractor and isolator. Yeah, yeah. Um, collapse also, um, thinking of the nervous states, there's five nervous states. Collapse makes me think of like flop or freeze, and I've been in those as well. Um, when I get activated, I have found that when I am activated, rather than fighting or flighting, running away, I freeze. I collapse. I shut down. And then I isolate. When I shift out of the collapse, the freeze, um, I begin to distract then by numbing, by doing too much, staying busy, multitasking. What I want you to know here, shame is not a morale failure. It is a protective strategy designed to preserve belonging. So there's healthy shame and there's toxic shame. Healthy shame motivates repair. It has accountability, reconnection, and it's temporary. Healthy shame has the message something went wrong and I can make it right. So, an example for me in that would be, or what that might look like, is I may have acted in a way or took something personally, made an assumption, um, took something personally, and may have acted in a way that when I stepped away from the situation, I might have reflected and decided that I didn't care for my behavior. Something went wrong and I can make it right. So it's temporary, it's accountability, something went wrong, and I can make it right. Toxic looks like attacking the self, not the behavior. It becomes chronic. It causes disconnection from others, that collapse, self worth goes down. So the message in a toxic shame environment is something is wrong with me. Not about the behavior, something is wrong with me. Can you see the difference in those two of healthy shame and toxic shame? Can you just take a moment and jot it in the chat or the discussion? Take a moment and think about a time that you may have experienced one or the other. Or did you know that there is a healthy shame? Yeah, thank you. A lot of toxic. Yeah, yeah, toxic, toxic. Um, a few healthy, a few knew about healthy, but may have played with it there. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Hmm. Yeah. Ah, feels really big, doesn't it? I want to invite you to take this moment, breathe, take a breath. Where do you feel this in your body right now? So I'm feeling just 'cause we're talking about shame or bringing it up, I can feel this little pressure right here in my core, just where the rib cage is ending. Yeah, you're feeling it in the chest. Yeah, yeah, shoulders. So let's just pause. Let's welcome in this pause. Take a breath. Let's do another couple more. How's that feeling in your body now? Are you feeling a shift? A lot of head nods. Yeah, feels better already. Shame is a heavy subject. It's a subject that we really don't talk about. So I'm going to talk a little bit about where toxic shows up. So toxic shows up when repair feels or looks unavailable. Care was inconsistent. Support, nurturing love is inconsistent. Toxic shows up in places where there was or is abuse, neglect, or humiliation. It shows up where emotions were met with punishment or shame. Some head nod. Yeah, yeah. Let's take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Just take a moment and breathe. Feel what that felt like in your body to hear where toxic shows up. Shame has a very specific body pattern, like again, that collapsed chest, rounded shoulders, downcast eyes, unable to make eye contact. I, there's still times I have trouble with that. Mhm. Constricted throat, shallow breath, heavy limbs, sudden fatigue, the desire to hide, heat in the face, the neck, the ears. I mean, think about the blushing when the face turns red. It's embarrassment, shame. This is what's happening. hmm Numbness or disassociation. In another webinar I um, hosted a day or two ago about the four agreements through the lens of the nervous system, I talked about a time when I was disassociated from my belly. I was ashamed of my belly. I had body dysmorphia, struggling with anorexia. I did not like my stretch marks. I did not like the size of my belly. And I was disassociated from it to the degree that I got two tattoos on my stomach below my navel that I did not feel. Now, at the moment, I thought that that area of my stomach that was dead from pregnancies and my belly getting big and my belly getting small, my belly getting big, my belly getting small. And so I assumed that, because I didn't have any other knowledge, that I just didn't have feeling there anymore. Fast forward, I've done some work, I'm reconnected to my body, I'm not disassociating, and I get a third tattoo on my stomach, and I felt it. And so when I say this, the first these are all layered on top of each other. The first tattoo I got, I wanted covered because it reminded me of a marriage that had ended. So I covered that one. The covering of that tattoo was not a good tattoo. And so I covered that tattoo. And um, the first two, I just didn't feel. And that's what disassociation does. It's what shame does. And I want to remind you here, these are not choices. They are auto autonomic responses. This is our nervous system activated, dysregulated, and it goes into one of the five nervous system states. And this is the response. Shame is hard to think away because it lives below the words. It involves the vagal nerve shutdown. It reduces access to the front prefrontal cortex. Thinking brain is shut down. Survival brain is turned on. I talk more about the nervous system states in another webinar that it just focuses on learning the nervous system. I'm going to host that tomorrow, April the 20th at 11:30. If you're available for that, you should have the link to that in your email as well. So I'm going to invite you, and if you feel safe to do this, jump in the chat and the discussion. Where do you feel shame in your body? Where's it speaking right now? Stomach, chest, throat. Yeah, shoulders, back. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for showing. Hmm. Yeah. So this is why insight doesn't dissolve it. Reassurances bounces off. It's in the body. It's in the body. Healing does not require us to revisit the original moment. And it's not a great idea to do so. So there's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. Fabulous, fabulous book on the nervous system. What that book teaches us is the body keeps the score. It remembers the traumatic experiences, the traumatic events, and they're stored in the body. They can come out of the body, but they get trapped in there because when the traumatic event occurred, we shut down and we kept it in. When we revisit that traumatic event through story, retelling the story of the event, our body does not know the difference in it happening in that moment or it being a retelling of the story. So every single time you retell a story, your body thinks it's back in that event. So that's why it's not always a good idea to revisit the original occurrence, the original event, that moment. Repair, repair happens when the body experiences being seen without judge, being held in safety, being allowed to stand upright and present. Repair happens in those little small moments of choice, of noticing I'm hunched over and I'm safe to stand tall. It's safe to take up space. It is safe to be big. This can happen, these repairs can happen in therapeutic relationships. So that's therapy, coaching, a really good best friend. It can happen in group spaces like this one and other healing circles. I like to say in safe spaces. It happens through self witnessing and awareness. Awareness is really the key to change. When you have awareness, change can take place. How does that feel? How does it feel hearing how to heal about repair? How does it feel to sit up straight just a little bit more? How does it feel to maybe pushing the shoulders back a little bit? How does it feel to take up space? Scary. When we've been living in shame, in smallness, it can feel very scary to get big and take up space. And every single time you do it just a little, it gets easier and easier. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it does feel different. My body feels different now as well. We've kind of um, heard how we work through the shame. We've taken some big breaths. We've adjusted our body. So it's very important when you're doing this work to notice these small changes, small shifts and small changes grow, they multiply and make big changes, big shifts. Try to reframe how we see shame. See it as a part, an event, as something separate from us. It is not our identity. And sometimes we can identify with shame and we hold in that that feeling that it becomes who we are. So I remember clearly in my teens and my 20s saying that I'm broken from my sexual abuse. I believed, identified with being a victim. And I carried that. I carried that weight. I carried that on my body, and my body responded. It was not healthy. Um, and then somewhere there in my 20s, going into my 30s, I read a book, and I don't recall now what it was, but it was about reframing your words. It might have been the Four Agreements back then. I don't know. But it was about reframing your words. And as long as I identified and spoke and said I'm a victim of childhood sexual abuse, I felt the shame in my body. When I changed that to I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, the energy of victim and survivor are two different feelings, two different energies. Victim was keeping me in that state. Survival moved me forward, and from that place is where healing truly began. When you're working with shame, I also invite you to work with reflections. So perhaps asking when shame appears, what is this shame trying to protect me from? What is this shame trying to protect me from? When did it first learn it needed to do this? When did it first learn it needed to do this? What does this part need now? I'm going to invite you to reflect on those, journal those down, jot those down so that you can come back to those questions when shame rears its head. Feel free to connect with me in the chat or discussion here as well. Thank you. Yeah. I've got just a few more. These are more journal prompts. So that was a reflection when shame arises, what to do. And this is a few little journal prompts to work with. What messages does shame carry about who I am? Yes, this is a big one. These are big questions. And if we get really honest with ourselves, that's awareness. From awareness, change happens. What would it feel like to stay present instead of collapsing? What would it feel like to stay present instead of collapsing? Hmm. Scary brave. Yes. Scary brave. How might dignity feel in my body? How might dignity feel in my body? Foreign, unknown. Mm, yes, I see you. Shame is not proof that I am flawed. It is evidence that connection mattered. Repair is possible. So I'm going to invite you to just take a moment now, ooh, shake the hands, like whatever you got to do, kind of release any tension you may be holding in your, let it go just for a moment. I'm going to lead us in a meditation. And um, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little long. It's a little long. Um, so I am not back here. Um, give me just a moment because I want you to be ready. So I'm going to invite you to put away your papers if you've been taking notes. Um, put the phone away if it's nearby. Um, making sure that you have just a few minutes. This is an embodiment um, meditation. It's a shame repair meditation. So just take a moment to clear your space. Get it ready. Beautiful. So you can do this either sitting or lying down, whichever feels most comfortable for you in the space that you are in. And then your eyes can be closed or softly open. Again, what feels good for you? And without changing anything, I invite you to bring your awareness into your breath and just notice, notice what your breath is doing. Is it deep or shallow, strong or weak? We're not making any changes. We're just bringing awareness in. Now I'm going to invite you to gently, softly look around your space and notice three things that you can see. Let your eyes rest on something neutral or comforting. So as you're softly gazing at your something, I invite you to quietly remind your body, I am here. I am here. This moment is safe enough. If it feels safe, bring to mind a mild moment of shame, not the most intense one, just enough to notice how shame shows up in your body. Bringing your attention to your body, notice where you feel shame showing up. Is it in the chest, the throat, the belly, the shoulders? There is no right place. There just simply is noticing without judgment. I invite you to place a hand on a place that feels supportive. That may be a belly, heart, the thighs, wherever your body chooses. Feel the warmth. Feel the comfort of your hand. If your body has collapsed, see if your body would like just a little more support. Not forcing an upright posture, just a gentle lengthening, as if dignity is returning naturally. Let your breath follow. Shame often comes with the message, something is wrong with me. Silently offer offer your body a new message. Nothing is wrong with me. I am having a protective response. Nothing is wrong with me. I am having a protective response. Notice if your body responds in any way. a breath, a sigh, a softening, or nothing at all. All responses are welcome. Shame causes isolation. Imagine or sense a presence with you. This could be a guide, a friend, a loved one, or your own compassionate awareness. Let this presence be near you without needing anything from you. You don't have to perform or explain. You are allowed to stay. Notice, does your body want to adjust? The lifting of the head, rolling of the shoulders, or perhaps a deep breath. Let it. Hmm, let it. Let these small moments repair. They tell the nervous system, I can be seen and still be safe. And as this practice comes to a close, notice how your body feels right now. Is there more space, more breath, more presence? Even the smallest shifts matter. Lighter. So people are already commenting how they're feeling. If you feel good enough, share, safe enough to share in the comments, please do so. Or in the discussion, how are you feeling? Lighter. Lots of hearts flushing. Thank you, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. So that took a few minutes. It doesn't have to take that long. And this is something that you can practice at any time. Working with small shames that rise up, and then you'll be able to work with big ones when they show up. So taking a moment now again to tune into your body. What's changed? How is this sitting for you? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it's work. It's work. It's not hard and it's not easy. It's consistency. It's doing a little bit every day. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. So, yes, I have a couple more. I have another webinar tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11:30 is understanding the nervous system. So that's when I'm going to go into detail about how the body responds when the nervous system is activated. And we're going to cover all 5 states of an activated nervous system. You should have in your email the link to that one as well. And so what I'm going to do probably tomorrow is send out an email with the recordings of this workshop, tomorrow's, and the one I did earlier on the 4 agreements through the lens of the nervous system. And so when you get that email, you're going to have like 48 hours to be able to view the recordings, rewatch this one. You can go into one that maybe you didn't get to join live. Are there any other questions or um, comments or shares? Yeah, thank you. It's easy to see when we bring that awareness in how our body can shift by bringing the shame to mind and then by bringing something else to mind, how it goes away. So before I close, I want to read a poem. I love poems. I love, love, love poems. So, this one came across me just a few days ago. Um, and it just spoke volumes. I've shared it several times. To the self who thinks faster is better. This is by Rosemary Trummer. As slowly as this aloe grows, could I dare to flow that slowly from this uncomfortable moment into the moment that follows? Not just slow, no, deliberate, willing to notice all that is here. For so long, I have trusted the part of me who believes faster is better. And now I'm exhausted. And of course, I want to get over my exhaustion fast. Truth is, I love slow. I love the juiciness of presence and quiet. Oh, the paradox. Can't I move fast and still feel spacious? The aloe knows One single leaf a month is leaf enough. I touch my palm to my belly and whisper aloud, slow is enough. Slow is a blessing. Slow is safe. The self who wants this ache to go away fast and faster sits beside the aloe and imagines it might open to aloe wisdom. I imagine my blood thick as gel in the aloe leaves. I imagine a single leaf of a thought at a time. I notice a prickle of discomfort and name it. I notice the impulse to get up and run. Notice the part of me that wants to feel better right now. Notice how the more I notice, the more slow feels like home. Thank you for joining me tonight. It has been an honor to walk with you on this path. You have my email if you find yourself with questions or comments about this webinar or one of the recordings. Please feel free to send me a message. I'm here and I will respond just as quickly as I can. Thank you. Have a beautiful evening.